Lanka is an ancient land and one that has many facets, not least a historical dimension, as is evident in the monumental writing of the sage Valmiki in his epic Ramayana, which has much to do with this island, its magnificent spaces and places. There are many places of interest in Sri Lanka which are associated with this legend. It is also said that there are 50 sites in Lanka scattered over the length and breadth of the island that are associated with the Ramayana. The Ramayana epic declares that Lord Rama's army crossed the ocean and came to Lanka via Ramasetu, a bridge built by Lord Rama using Nala and Neel as architects, and his Vanara or monkey forces. It is believed that the city of Lankapura once stood in these jungles. Sita Kotua means Sita's court. According to the local legend, Sita was kept in captivity in a mansion here. Another location is the Sita Amman temple, which stands beside a stream where Sita bathed when in captivity.
So this is the only Sita temple in the whole world. So anyone who is believing in Ramayana should come over here and pray for themselves and their family.
King Ravana's son Indrajit is said to have petitioned God Shiva with acts of penance and puja in order to receive superhuman powers. These acts of devotion were performed here in Gayatri Peedam. It is believed that Hanumanji was searching for Sita from across these hills of Rambuda. Even today, devotees arrive in large numbers at the Shiva temple at Tirukoneshwaram. This temple is said to date to the Ramayana era. It is said that Tirukoneshwaram was built by the sage Agastya on the instructions of God Shiva, who was impressed by the devotion of King Ravana. We believe that Kanya is the place where King Ravana carried out the last rites for his mother. When he was not able to find water to perform his rites, the anguished monarch pierced the ground with his trident 7 times, and water began gushing out. The legend says that the heat of his anger influenced the temperature of the water in these 7 wells, which, during the decisive war, both Lord Rama and Lakshmana, his trusted lieutenant, were rendered unconscious. In order to resuscitate them, Hanumanji was instructed to fetch the life-saving herbs Sanjeevani from the Himalayan range. Hanumanji was supposed to have been unable to locate the specific herb and opted to lift part of the Himalayan massif and hurl it over here, and it landed in 5 places in Sri Lanka. Rumasala in Gaul is one of them. Curiously, many of the plants found in Rumasala are of Himalayan origin and remain untraceable anywhere else in Sri Lanka. Believed Devundara hosted an ancient Shiva temple called Chandrasegareshwaram, later destroyed by the Portuguese in the 16th century. It is believed this area too was associated with the Ramayana. Part of the battle between the 2 armies of Lord Rama and King Ravana are thought to have been in Devundara, and some of the artifacts are claimed to be from that time and stored in the upper repository of the temple at the Devundara Buddhist temple in the south. After the victory over King Ravana, Lord Ram is said to have entertained doubts as to whether he should return home with his consort and decided to submit her to the Agni test. A pyre was built and Sita was eager to prove her innocence and virtue by agreeing to the test by fire. The fire deity Agni is said to have intervened and delivered Sita unharmed. This marked a validation of an oath of purity. Following victory in battle, Lord Ram is said to have travelled using an airborne craft belonging to the vanquished King Ravana and arrived at Muneswaram on his way back to Ayodhya. This temple is located on the northwest coast of Sri Lanka. Lord Ram appealed to God Shiva, who was the guardian deity at Muneswaram, to relieve him of the pain of heart and the fear that he was being followed by a nemesis. Tiruketiswaram is another ancient Shiva temple that dates to the Ramayana era and is very popular among devotees even today. Here the belief is that Lord Rama prayed to God Shiva to be rid of the Brahmahasti dosha after killing King Ravana. That there has been much that has been exchanged, and the confluence of those traditions only illuminate the relationship the two nations and their people have enjoyed over the ages. Establishing and building on those relationships is for the benefit of all, and how wonderful to be able to visit and comprehend for oneself the evidence of Lanka's past with the present continent of India.